Hi, welcome to ImagineWithIlluminArt. I'm Michelle.
And my name is Gideon.
And we're teaming up to create an improv series called Intro to Improv.
And a little background on Michelle and I.
Together, we were the improv teachers at IS2's IlluminArt program. Hi, IS2, we miss you.
Hey, IS2, we miss you. And a little shout out to my students at PS39. Today's improv lesson is designed for middle school and up.
Yeah. So let's talk about what improv actually is, eh? Improv, you've probably heard it before, is an art form where performers go on the stage and create a script together out of their imaginations. There are no lines on a page, right? Everything is made up the moment that improvisers get on stage.
And the way they're able to do this on the spot is by following a few simple rules. The first rule we're going to work on today is a rule of agreement called yes and. That's where the performers agree to each other's ideas by saying the simple words, you guessed it, yes and, in order to build a scene together.
Yes and. The main thing most skilled improvisers ask themselves is, okay, how do we get on the same page as fast as possible? In other words, how do Gideon and I figure out who we are to each other, what our relationship is, where we are, and what we're doing as fast as possible?
Michelle and I recently had a virtual improv jam, so we'll give you some examples of yes and in action from that jam. And we'll also show you some examples of saying no on stage to your scene partner, like in times we may have started arguing or weren't listening, etc.
Yeah, it happens. Don't be afraid of it. Sometimes people both start a scene with a different idea, and people kind of want to do their ideas. I get it. I always want to do my idea, but sometimes I'm like, no, I got to go with Gideon's idea. All improvisers are really skilled listeners. That's what they're doing. They're picking up on everything that their scene partner's taking, and they're putting it into their scene to make their scene move and have some fun. And more on that later.
Mm-hmm. With that in mind, let's take it to the jam.
Woo!
Hey, welcome to our virtual jam. What's up,
Yeah.
Michelle?
Hey.
Yeah, and our warm-up game is called Yes and, actually, which is similar to concepts we've talked about when we're talking about like the foundations of improv. So how this game works is we have two actors, so Michelle and I will go ahead and begin this game. And we begin by getting a suggestion. Now, if you've never been to an improv show, never seen it, or never done improv, a suggestion is something you get from the audience or the people you're improving with to get some inspiration. And so you begin by either asking the people a question or for a word. You know, sometimes people will make a suggestion based on something they see that's in the room that they're in. We get our suggestion, and then one of the actors will begin by just saying a sentence inspired by the suggestion. And then we go back and forth adding sentences that tell the whole story, with every single sentence, except for the first one, beginning with the literal words, yes, and. Michelle, would you like to, let's play this game. And so that way, like, we can get into a flow and really show them. So we'll start anew.
Okay, great.
I'll give you a suggestion. I just ate an orange, so orange peel is your suggestion, Michelle.
Orange peels have a lot of vitamin C.
Yes, and they're really great for your health.
Yes, and I think we should go to the store today and get like 2 bags of them.
Yes, and let's get some kitchen knives so we don't have to peel them with our fingers.
Yes, and let's make sure we wear our masks and gloves.
Yes, and stay 6 feet apart.
Yes, and we should also get coffee and potatoes.
Yes, and we should get some plant food for your houseplant, Maurice.
Yes, And we also need to get a fire extinguisher in case
Yes.
there's a fire.
Yes. And we should also get some ice cream for later.
Ooh, yes. And maybe some pecans and those fake cherries, you know?
Yes. And we'll get some pie crust so we can make pecan pie and cherry pie.
Ooh. And then maybe let's just get a dog. You want to get a dog?
Yes. And a cat for the dog to play with.
Yeah. And let's get a little gerbil, a little hamster.
Yes, and we'll need food for all these new pets.
Yes, we'll go. Yes, and we'll go to the pet food store.
Yes, and we'll go to the garment store so we can get them all sweaters in case it gets cold again.
Yes, and we should get a pool for the outside for the backyard.
Yes, and we can get some pool noodles for the pool.
Yeah, and then we can get them all swimsuits. Personally.
Yes, and we'll hire a ferret as a lifeguard to swim after them.
Yes, I love ferrets. Okay, great. So that was the scene.
Michelle, do you want to talk a little about that? Because that went everywhere. Like, is the game Yes and supposed to kind of go everywhere like that?
Yes. Yes, it usually does. We soon had a house full of things. We had coffee, we had potatoes, and then we had animals. It generally does go over. And the point is that you go everywhere and you go with your partner. As long as you guys go together, you can go wherever you want.
Mm.
One way to initiate a scene is to figure out who you are in the scene, who I am and who Gideon is. Oh, oh, doctor, Dr. Jones, it's this one. It hurts so bad when I bite down. Oh.
Yes, 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 Madonna. Hold on. Let me feel into there.
Ah.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh.
So Madonna,
Yes.
you've been eating lots of walnuts again, right?
Oh. It's my weakness. How did you know? I
The
love
wal
walnuts.
it, I know you do, but it's a problem for those tooth enhancers I gave you. It's gonna pop them right out, and you're gonna
And
end up.
freeze! Is it clear who they are? Looks like Michelle's playing Madonna and Gideon's playing a doctor. Let's just watch a little bit more to be clear.
Well, that pain right up there. I'm a doctor.
Yep, he's a doctor.
Oh, but I love tooth enhancers. They get me all those acting jobs, with all my.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to another scene. We're gonna do a scene that I'll initiate since Michelle initiated that one. But I'm gonna use where. Where is my inspiration? Wow. The Falcons are out, aren't they?
They're amazing. Birds of prey.
And freeze! I know that was really quick, but do you know where they are? Only 2 sentences were spoken, and we know they're outside somewhere in the park.
It's wonderful to think that these are the descendants of the dinosaurs.
Amazing. That even those fangs, those what do you call them?
Oh, the talons?
Yes. They look like a velociraptor.
Oh, yes.
One's getting quite close, though.
Oh, he's just hovering. He must see some prey around here. Did you enjoy that scene, Michelle?
And this is our third scene. I'm going to initiate with what?
Freeze! Look at that. Not a word was spoken, but we know what Michelle is doing. And what she's doing is sewing.
Mother,
Yes.
are you done sewing up my doll?
And just a quick freeze. Just based on what Michelle was doing, Gideon now has something to yes and off of. And the scene can go off from there.
Not quite, but almost, Stuart.
Mother,
Yes.
when are we going to have an afternoon snack with crumpets and cheeses?
Yes. We're going to do that as soon as I'm finished stowing up Mr. McGillicuddy. He's not quite done. But thank you for asking. Are you hungry?
No, but it's been several hours since Mr. McGillicuddy's eaten.
Michelle, would you like to do a scene to show our virtual students, like what not to do? Let's explore a scene where something just doesn't work.
Okay, great. So what are you doing here?
I'm rolling dice.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, no, I'm shaving.
You're shaving?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're rolling dice and you're shaving.
Who are you?
I'm your mother.
No, you're my Aunt Susan.
Okay, fine. I'm your Aunt Susan, and you're shaving. Okay, cool.
Now I'm rolling dice.
Well, okay, let's roll dice over here, says Aunt Susan. Okay, great. So you guys can see how we're not on the same page.
Let's close with some pro tips from Michelle.
The person that steps on the scene, the initiator, the person that steps on the scene first is responsible for initiating the scene with an idea. Even if you have no ideas, I think that's the scariest thing. It's just find something. Take it and go. Even if it's the simplest thing as like, easy. That's what you're doing. You're sipping something. We don't know what it is yet. Your scene partner and you will discover it together. But if you come on and start asking your scene partner questions, they're like, I don't know. You started it. You initiated.
Yeah. Then you end up like just going in lots of circles.
All right. You just saw 3 ways to initiate a scene. And we talked about some things not to do. Once again, improv takes a long time to get, but the more you watch, the more you do, the more you'll understand. There'll be more videos coming out. Stay tuned.
We just gave you some good building blocks for improvising. I hope you watch our next ones. And also be sure to check out all the other YouTube videos on the Imagine channel. Like them and subscribe to us.
And don't forget to tell your friends. See you next week.